Okay, Will Alsop, he was born today, the 12th of December in 1948, and died in 2018. Was a British architect and professor of architecture at the University for the Creative Arts and Canterbury School of Architecture. He was responsible for several distinctive and controversial modernist buildings, which are usually distinguished by their use of bright colors and unusual avant-garde forms. In 2000, Alsop won the Sterling Prize, the most prestigious architecture award in the United Kingdom, for the Peckham Library in London, and you are going to see it. He said at one moment, that's the art of architecture, putting everything together in your own way. This is the man, this was the man. An artistic temperament and quite vital. He has also smoked, which is not very usual these days, but he did. Maybe he also drank, I don't know. Some drawings, some paintings. You will see, I will end with some of his artworks, his paintings. Here I just show a few sketches. He had a humorous side. He was playful and very, very unconventional. Look, this is how he worked, you know, large scale artworks. And I read that he began his projects by painting a lot, abstract paintings, and then the abstract painting would become the building. This is a project which was not, you know, it was not built for the 21st century, a large urban project, some kind of a visionary project, as other people did, like Ingalls and others. Anyway, he was very versatile. He built a lot, but he also had so-called visionary projects. And you can see on Arch Daily, there is an article on the visionary projects of Will Alsop. Now, an urban renewal, he did this. You know, he was a very interesting architect, unafraid to take risks, and you know, I think we need people like him. Now, one of his first built works, the cricket stand at university campus. You know, the Britons, they love cricket, and so they build these structures. This was built by him. I think he also studied at AA, because like most important architects in Great Britain and in the world, they went through AA. That school was unbelievable. It was unbelievable because it was actually an anti-school. They didn't have a curriculum. It functioned without a curriculum, because at the time he was there, the dean of the school, the director of the school, he didn't believe in curriculums. He didn't believe in strict repetitive structure. So it paid. Anyway, so this is very, very impressive, I would say, and well done. And in Great Britain, they have, you see on the right side, the old church, and then the proposal by Alsop, and they complement each other, and they enhance each other, and they provoke each other. Here I have just one picture, is in France somewhere, and I forgot where, Hôtel du Département from 1994. It's quite a large building, and he built it in his early years. Now the Toronto Apartments offices, a project which was not built. Again, he was not afraid to take risks, to put two different architectures, one on top of the other. And some studies for what, you know, for the apartments. It was not built. Here he is with a client and a bottle of wine. I think he drank. Maybe that's why he died at 70. And this is a plan of a studio, I guess. Now the Forward Children's Center from 2004. It's a ludic building appropriately for children. It's essentially kind of a traditionalist pop structure, if you could say something like this. It has a sloping roof, but with glass, and then inside all kinds of things happen for children. But I think there was a child in him. He never grew up, so to speak. He was a big child, and it shows in his architecture. I like him. Very uninhibited. Palestra, 2006, an office building built. I mean, office buildings, but even here there are some interesting things. You know, the columns that are as they are. Sorry, a little bit shaky. I don't think he believed too much in the culture of offices. Look at the slanted slab here, and the columns. Okay. Some projects in China. He built a few of them. This is a very spectacular. What you see on the right, we'll see a few more pictures later on. Office buildings, several of them. I'm very surprised that this architect is not well known at all, because I think he was good. Another project for I don't know what, maybe housing or some collective public spaces. Shanghai Kiss, this was a proposal, was not built. He was a big ludic man who loved life and loved an architecture that loved to express his love of life. It was not built. Xi'an Hotel, another proposal, sketches, very uninhibited and very creative and very versatile. He didn't really have a strict style. But he manipulated form, I think, very well. Very vivacious architect. Colorium, 2001, an office building. Again, Alsop being playful. From far away, maybe it doesn't look so impressive, but you look at these, you know, the playfulness of the facade. He was not afraid of colors and ad hoc interventions. The Paddle Dog Hotel, another, you know, you would say strange intervention between the two buildings that are very different. He was not really a contextualist, or he was a contextualist through conflict, through the drama of opposing what he imagined to the existing. Abu Dhabi Hotel, another project which was not built. Maybe they are building it now. His office still carries on. You see his artwork on the right, and you see the, you know, he always informed his projects through his artworks. La Fosca, another proposal. I mean, look what's going on there. Is actually refreshing. You know, you see the doodle within the building and without the building. I mean, outside of the building, and it's fine, I think. Raffles City, he built these towers. I mean, if an architect would build just these 3 towers and would feel accomplished, but he built many buildings, and he made much more than that. Lots of so-called visionary projects. These are well done. Rough luxe hotel, kind of a strange association of words. Rough and luxe, usually what's luxurious is not rough. The public, this is an important building by him, is very pop, perhaps too pop for my taste, but it's still an interesting, you cannot ignore it. You see the stiff existing buildings in the foreground, and then behind his proposal, which is indeed very, very ludic and pink. And it's some kind of a, you know, I don't know if cultural. It's a social building for all kinds of functions. Look at the variety of forms. You know how he handles, you know, the parapet here, and then you see downstairs where something very different is going on. Zuhai, another proposal which was not. I don't know. Sometimes I feel. I mean, what I see here is maybe even a little bit better than. By comparison, Jean Nouvel seems to be a little bit stiff. But maybe Jean Nouvel didn't like or doesn't like to drink. I think Will Alsop did like to drink. Anyway, so this is a very important work by him. And you already saw a picture of two. He did several buildings here, but this part is the most dramatic, the most cultural, and the most so-called futuristic. And yes, Will Alsop, we miss you. We need this kind of vivacious architecture, this verve. This is the project he received, the building he received the Sterling Prize for. I don't think it's his best building, but that's what he was awarded for. And with the exception of that word there hanging, I mean, you know, on top of the building, it to me is a little bit, I don't know, not really great. The way it is written, library there at the top, otherwise you would think it's something else. It's okay if it would have, but there are interesting here, even in this building, there are some interesting things. This rear facade is very interesting. You see it above the existing building, the canopy of the library, some views from the interior, you know, capsules, and it's joyous, it's playful. The man was not inhibited, and he was not inhibiting. Library. Yes, you might think it's something else. The Sharp Center in Ontario. Now, this is maybe one of his most outrageous, and it was built, the Ontario College of Art and Design. Look how he flows above how he flows and how he flies above the existing buildings with that box, the box of non-conformism, the box of the joie de vivre, la joie de vivre of the creative people. And the Canadians built it. You know, it's almost incredible. It was built, and it functions quite well. Look at the Moreau's old building in the foreground. A little bit saddened, but that another building stole the show. And indeed, the building by Will Alsop did steal the show. Bravo to him. It pays off when you are courageous. Sometimes it pays off. Compared to all the buildings around, this one is manifesting something Dionysian, something. It's alive. It's provocative. It's colorful. It's interesting. Anyway. And yes, it is challenging in a way the force that is challenging us, meaning gravity. But it is mainly challenging conventions. Some housing, I only have two images. This is a block of flats, but playful itself. I'm thinking a little bit of the horizontal skyscraper by Stephen Hall. Now, this is a proposal for Great Britain, was not built, but an interesting skyscraper. You see, I don't know if he was inferior to Zaha. He was on one hand a little bit more conventional, but because of the painter within, he was able to add new dimensions to his architecture. So the bidimensional side of his creativity is enhancing the three-dimensionality of his work. Langfang, I don't know exactly where this is. Sometimes I had difficulties to find out where his proposals were made for. Maybe still in China. He did a lot of projects for China. I guess the Chinese loved him because he was so, uninhibited. Some artworks, and with this I will end this presentation, quick presentation of this. I would say interesting architect. And he was, I think, a good artist. You would say it's a chaos here. Oh, yes, maybe it is a chaos, but it is the chaos of life, and the chaos of love, and the chaos of getting intoxicated by virtue, poetry, or wine, as Charles Baudelaire advised us to be. I think he was a skillful painter, and he loved the spiral. He also loved the cube, and the meeting between the spiral and the cube can only generate energy, I would say. That's what we see, right? The cube, or almost a cube, and the spiral. And then the fragmentations that result from the implosion and the explosion as a consequence of marrying the two. That's it. Thank you very much, and happy birthday, Will Alsop. And I'm happy that we did pay homage to him.
Yeah, Dan, it was very nice.
Just a second now, because what is going on here? I couldn't. Why did you? I'm lost now. Why?
Sorry.
No.